What's up, my thick boys?
My thick boys. Should we say it at the same time?
Oh yeah, that'd be better.
Wait, you don't have to restart it. We'll just say it again. You ready? 1, 2, 3.
What's up, my thick boys? Today we are talking about RWBY. So, RWBY is an American-made, self-proclaimed anime created by Monty Ohm for Rooster Teeth. It premiered in July of 2013 to an overwhelmingly positive reception.
For some reason.
Yeah.
The story surrounds 4 teenage girls and their quest to become huntresses in the fantasy world of RWBY, a world plagued by
combat skirts.
No.
It's a combat
I mean, yeah,
skirt.
but like, okay,
yeah,
no.
sorry.
The world plagued with the creatures grim.
This series has been ongoing for almost 6 years now, and it's become clear that it sucks. It just sucks.
It's hard to pinpoint what exactly makes RWBY such a bad show, because it isn't a show where there's one obvious flaw that you can get rid of to fix the problems. Unfortunately, RWBY falls flat in literally every pivotal aspect of writing, be it plot or character or even simple dialogue.
And the show is just hard to watch. And I place a lot of that blame on Red Riding Hood. RWBY is the main character of RWBY. It's dumb that they have the same name. It's just dumb. I don't think it's necessary for the main character to be named RWBY, or for the group to be named after the main character, or for the whole show to be named after the group. Maybe if it was clever or meaningful, but it's not.
So, RWBY might very well be the worst main character I've ever seen in an animated series. I have no idea what her redeeming characteristic is supposed to be.
She's quirky.
Ah, right. Sorry. Okay, so basically we've got this quirky, but otherwise bland as oatmeal, empty husk of a main character.
Well, obviously she can't be that bland, Avery, because she adorns the outfit of a gothic Lolita DeviantArt OC.
Sorry, you're right. Anyways, RWBY's character is a mess of forced contradiction. The very first time we're introduced to her, we're given the impression that she's some type of badass who fights random criminals in convenience stores with a tricked-out scythe gun, dressed in a tutu and a cape.
Wait, where do they get these weapons?
They make them.
RWBY made that?
Yeah.
She's not an engineer. But seriously, a big issue with RWBY is that they try desperately to make her come across as this kick-ass fighting machine, completely competent and confident in her abilities. Yet outside of combat, she is completely helpless, naive, and incompetent. And it just never feels believable that somebody as underdeveloped and immature as RWBY has already become the fucking dragon warrior.
Poe.
Like, I don't have an issue with characters who are good at fighting or whatever. I just need to feel like it's realistic. Like, at some point they worked hard to attain these skills and it has shaped them in some way.
But remember, Olivia, RWBY went to fighting middle school.
Fighting middle school? Me when someone insulted my anime OC in the 6th grade. Let's be real.
Yeah, and she's supposed to still be in fighting middle school, but Daddy Ozpin noticed that she was the chosen one. So he hooked her up, and she ends up skipping like 2 years of fighting middle school to go with her older sister to fighting high school, where she becomes the leader of her team of bad voice actresses, just because
That is
just because Ozpin knows that she is the chosen one.
So we're obviously dealing with good material here.
Obviously.
Also, can we just take a moment of silence for the warriors whose hearing was shot in an attempt to listen to Lindsay Jones as RWBY?
Okay, sorry, moment of silence.
Thank you for that. Okay, like, even if you love RWBY, you have to agree. The voice acting for her character, it's just bad. It's hard to listen to her open her mouth.
Then we have Weiss, right, who's the epitome of the Ice Queen trope, and I'm pretty sure that they even call her that in the first season, right?
Ice Queen?
The worst part is that with Weiss, they adamantly stay within the confines of the Ice Queen trope. Mm-hmm. The way she looks, her abilities, her personality. I mean, her sister is named Winter.
At least she gets development, though. Like, it's not good development, but it's more than RWBY gets.
Yeah. We actually don't have much to say about Yang. She's fine.
Yang and
like,
Weiss,
she's fine.
They get a pass.
Yeah.
But Blake.
Yeah, honestly, fuck Blake.
Blake the mistake.
She is so unlikable. She makes me tired. I don't even want to talk about her.
But you're gonna.
But yeah. The reason she sucks primarily is because the show has dedicated this character's existence to pulling an uninteresting forced social conflict that is faunus discrimination.
I can't tell if Blake is supposed to be relevant because of the Faunus Revolution, or if the Faunus Revolution is supposed to be relevant because Blake is a main character. The fact that we have to wonder about this at all exemplifies the writer's incompetence. Like, there's no reason to have the Faunus, like, 1, exist, or 2, revolt. The whole plot that they're forcing down our throats with these Neko furries is so far removed from the rest of the story that it just further complicates the writer's efforts to create a comprehensible conflict.
But Blake's character is central to this concept, and therefore she becomes just as uninteresting as the conflict itself. Like, initially, Blake is portrayed as the quiet, mysterious girl trope, but after the mystery dissolves, her secret's revealed. Usually this is when our previously mysterious character will become more authentic and develop depth, but unfortunately with Blake, there's nothing beneath her exterior except that she is faunus. Nothing else.
Steep that Earl Grey. That was odd. Okay. In conclusion, Blake's a flat character, and she sucks. Moving on. Now, the heroes aren't very good, we can agree. But, you know, you'll be amazed to know that the villains are somehow much worse. I don't think that there's a single villain in RWBY that has an explicitly stated or represented motive for being evil. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, okay? The only villain that we understand at all is a sleazy orange swindler boy that's around for like 2 seasons max before he's killed out of nowhere. But yeah, so money, greed, like that's the most compelling motivation you'll ever see for any character in this whole show.
Yeah, so the main villains, Cinder and Salem, as they've been introduced to us so far, give no clear indication as to why they desired the Infinity Stones, or whatever the orbs are called.
The orbs.
Like, we know Cinder wants power and she wants to be feared, but why? This character's around for the whole show, but we don't learn anything about her, the main villain. I mean, up until Salem's introduced. But we don't know anything about her either.
As far as we know, Salem and her 4 horsemen are evil for the sake of evil, and Miles and Carrie just want us to, like, sit on that. Like, alright, fine, whatever. Let's just go with it.
I just want a villain that's more than scary sex appeal and smirking one-liners.
Aw, don't be that way, little bird.
Had it not been for the laws!
Moving away from main characters, something else we gotta address is the fact that they throw in meaningless side characters like they think expanding the cast will distract from how unsatisfactory the main characters are.
And they can't even handle it. They add these characters and then we never see them again. They're basically just props the writers throw in to keep plot moving.
Speaking of plot, what the fuck is that? Do they know what they're doing? Because I don't know what they're doing. I don't think they know what they're doing, and we just don't know.
It would just take way too long to have an overview right now of all the seasons, the arcs, and talk about why it's all so wrong. But we've agreed that the overarching issue is a lack of focus.
Yeah.
They just keep piling shit on like it's improv acting or something. And it feels like the writers have never had an inkling of where the story is really going, which makes RWBY as a whole feel like
a patchwork amalgamation of shit.
Disconnected.
Same thing. Okay. There are just so many moving parts that they throw in every season. Like, this might as well happen. So they end up forgetting about, like, half the stuff they've had since the beginning. Like, okay, what happened to Dust? What happened to Dust? Like, I thought that it was gonna be way more significant. And sure, like, once in a while, Weiss uses it, and her family, like, deals it to the general population. But it's not relevant to any of the conflict, though it was set up like it was supposed to be. Like, the show's got an academy for training warriors, evil creatures of darkness, dust criminals, semblances, the tuning exams, some long-forgotten military conflict, a faunus revolution, the maidens that were tacked on halfway through the show, Cinder, the 4 horsemen, Salem, Ozpin the mythical body-snatching god who peeps on young boys' sexual fantasies, the Infinity Stones, overcomplicated family trees, magic and Team Juniper going main, and Silver Eyes. What the fuck are the Silver Eyes?
Yeah.
We just don't know.
If only they could.
Right.
Moving on from plot, obviously, you know, the animation is seriously lacking in simple fluid movements. While the fight scenes are impressive, excluding season 5, when it comes to general movement and character interactions, the models are stiff and rigid. The environments are bland and inconsistent. Usually there's little to no detail in the backgrounds. I think the only few times I've ever been visually impressed by this show were during a few cult favorite fight scenes.
Because it is a cult. It is.
I mean, to be fair, the environments, backgrounds, landscapes did get better during season 4 and 5, like significantly.
Yeah.
But in exchange, the fight scenes in season 5 were infamously worse than ever. Like, how did that happen?
Just as a final note, I'd like to point out that the audio in this show makes my ears bleed. Like, not just because Ruby's voice actress is a fucking child.
I'm 11, so shut the fuck up.
But from an entirely objective standpoint, okay? It's safe to say that all the music they bring in contributes nothing to the show in any way. I never watch RWBY and think to myself, oh wow, that musical composition actually made me feel engrossed in what's going on screen. It's this sort of cognitive dissonance, right? Like between what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing, and what I'm supposed to be feeling, it doesn't line up. So I just come away from an episode of RWBY feeling tired. Like I could have been doing something actually, enjoyable for the past 17 minutes of my life.
Yeah, I agree. I think to sum up RWBY, it was a noble attempt.
Noble attempt.
One with big ideas,
Good
but
effort.
The execution wasn't where it needed to be.
Mm-mm.
And I know in this video we are being very harsh, but we don't mean any harm to anyone who works on this show, obviously.
Obviously. It's a roast sesh. You
we
gotta
are,
roast and
we're
toast.
just being hyperbolic for the sake of entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
We actually hope that this show does better. We would like to see it do better because we love good animation and storytelling.
That's what we're here for.
Hopefully the staff of RWBY can take some of the criticism from its viewers at large. Yeah, but thanks for everyone who stuck along till the end, and don't
forget to smash
that